And thank you for tuning in to my morning live wake up inspiration. Thank you for tuning in to my morning wake up ins- inspiration motivation. And I just want to talk about a topic this morning about do not think too much. A lot of times in life, we tend to think too much. We be a point in our life to where it becomes decision time to make a decision on something in life, and we tend to think too much. And when we tend to think too much, we tend to think ourselves out of our decision or whatever particular thing that we're going through in life, and because we think too much, and that's what causes us to think ourselves out of making a great decision. A lot of times in life, when it comes to making a decision, you know you should think about it, but you shouldn't overthink it. A lot of times you overthink a decision, and it causes you to not make a decision on something that could have been like a breakthrough in your life, or it could have been, something great that could have came into your life, but you allowed yourself to think yourself out of it because you was thinking too much about making the decision. So what I'm saying to you this morning in my morning life wake up motivation is that in life, when we tend to make decisions, always don't never overthink a decision, because when you overthink a decision, then you could be thinking your way out of something that could have been something good for you, but you overthought the decision and you didn't make the decision to do whatever that was that could have been a game changer in your life. So what I'm saying to you this morning in my morning life wake up motivation is that we should not never think too much. It's okay to think, but don't overthink. Because a lot of times when you overthink things, then you talk yourself out of making good decisions in life that could have been a game changer in your life, but you sat back and you thought about it too hard, and by you thinking about it too much, you didn't make the decision. And then on in life you realize that, man, I should have made that decision. That could have been a game changer, but you overthought the decision and you didn't make the decision. So that's what I'm saying to you in life. When it comes to thinking and making decisions in your life, always look at what's best for you, but don't never overthink it. Because when you overthink decisions, then you talk yourself out of making great decisions that could have been a game changer in your life. But you have to be in a position in your life to where when things come into your life, opportunities or whatever it is, or something that can create change in your life or take you to the next level in life, you have to be open-minded enough to evaluate the situation before you make a decision on it. Because if you don't evaluate the situation before you make a decision on it, you may make a decision on it, and then it may be a decision to where you made the decision, but then in the long run, you come back and you find out that it wasn't the best decision to make because you overthought the decision. 9 times out of 10, when people don't make the best decisions in life, they overthink the decision. They think too much, and now it causes their mind to outthink them over the decision and from making the decision. But you have to realize you cannot outthink yourself out of a decision when it's time to make a decision. And you should always evaluate every decision that you make and look at every decision before you make it with an open mindset. Because if you're making a decision with an open mindset, then you are able to make the best decision. But if you make a decision with a closed mindset, you're just making a decision based upon the knowledge that you know, or the knowledge that someone else has told you. Because when you're making a decision with a closed mindset, you're not going to do research. You're just going to say, well, somebody told me that this won't work, and you're going to make that decision. Now, if you're making a decision with an open mindset, You're going to think about decisions. You're going to analyze the decision. You're going to see where is the benefits in this decision that I make that can benefit me and my family. That's when you're making it with an open mind. But if you're making it with a closed mind, you're just going to make the decision based up off of what you know and what somebody else told you. But a lot of times in life, you cannot make a decision based upon what somebody else's opinion is about something, or based upon how someone else feels about something, or based on someone else's success that they had within doing something, because everybody is different. You're a different person than that person. That person may not have had success in doing whatever they was doing because of their approach and the way that they did it, because of their mindset. Your mindset may be different, and you may be very successful at it. So don't allow nobody to tell you what you can and cannot do and make decisions for you, and don't overthink decisions. Because like I said, when you make a decision with a closed mindset, you don't even consider, thinking about the decision before you make it. You just make the decision. And to me, when you make a decision with a closed mindset, you have already overthought that decision and made that decision based upon the knowledge that you have gotten from what someone else told you about it, or from what you know about it, but you never did really research it to see if you would be able to do that particular task, or whatever the case may be. You overthought that decision before you made the decision. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you judged that decision based upon what you knew from someone else, but you never did look at it from an open mindset and judge that decision based upon you doing your research and seeing if this particular thing could have been good for you and your family, could have helped you and your family in any kind of way. You overthought the decision because you made the decision before you thought about it. I don't know if you got that or not, but you did. Anytime you overthink decisions when you don't think about it, because you've already talked yourself out of making that decision, because you made it before you even looked at whatever it was someone was trying to show you, or you made that decision before you even evaluated how that decision is going to affect you or could affect you, and that's why you don't make decisions with a closed mindset, because you already overthink them, because your answer is already there within that decision. Now, if you're making a decision with an open mindset, you're not going to think too much. You're just gonna make that particular decision, and you're gonna do your research based upon what you know. You're not gonna go off of what somebody else knows. But like I said, if you make a decision with a closed mindset, you're gonna take everybody's opinion, and you have overthought that decision because you made a decision before you did your research. And anytime you make a decision before you do your research, you have overthought that decision, because your mind is already giving you the answer before you even allowed your mind to operate and even think about the decision. And that's when you think too much. And then another time when you think too much is when you think about a decision for so long of making a decision, and you think about it too much and too long, and then you tend to think yourself out of it. So that's what I'm saying, you don't think too much when it comes to decision making, because don't make a decision with a close set, because like I said, you have already overthought that decision, because you have already gotten an answer to that particular decision or situation, or whatever it is that someone is trying to show you, or whatever it is you're trying to figure out. You made that decision based upon someone else's opinion or what you knew about it, and you never did do your research. So by you never doing your research, then you never got to the point to where you really knew what the thing was all about. Whatever it was, if it was a plan for you to lose weight, or if it was a concept somebody wanted you to look at, you made a decision with a closed mindset. So you overthought that decision because you came up with an answer before you even looked at it, or before you even thought about putting the plan and schedule together. You already told yourself that you couldn't do it. And that's what I'm saying. That's when you think too much, is when you outthink yourself out of decision before you make a decision. So what I'm saying to you this morning, don't think too much. Because if you think too much, then you allow yourself to miss out on a lot of great things. Could be a game changer in your life, but you think too much and you outthink yourself from making the decision. So that's what I'm saying to you in my morning life. Wake up motivation this morning is that when it comes to decisions, don't think too much. Do what you have to do to make that decision, but do your research. And once you do your research with an open mindset, and then you make that decision, because you're more apt to be able to get to the next level in life and be more successful when you make a decision with an open mindset versus a closed mindset, because you've outthought the decision. And you should never do that. You should never allow your mind or your brain to allow you to outthink you on making a decision. Because when you do that, you're not making a decision with an open mindset. You have already allowed your brain to tell you that this will not work. So you have already allowed your brain to think and tell you that it will not work based upon what somebody has already told you about it. Or you won't try to go on your journey of losing your weight because somebody told you, man, you can't do that. Man, that's too hard. And you never ever tried to do it just because of their opinion and they told you you couldn't. You made that decision with a closed mindset and you outthought the decision because of the simple fact that you took their opinion. You didn't even try it. You didn't even try to put together a schedule and a plan to where you could go out there and put that regimen together so you could lose weight, because you didn't have no confidence in yourself that you could do it, because you made a decision based upon somebody else's opinion and what they told you they could or could not do. So don't think too much in decisions. Don't never make a decision with a closed mindset, because anytime you make a decision with a closed mindset, you have thought too much. You have thought about the decision too much, and now you make the decision based upon what somebody else tells you and what you believe, but you never open your mind with an open mindset and do your research and figure out what's the benefits in you making that decision, or what's the negative and positives. You have to weigh all options when you make a decision, and that way you won't think too much before you make the decision, and you will also make a decision based upon what you know, and you will do your research, and you will not take someone else's opinion. Because when you take someone else's opinion and you make a decision based upon what they have told you and what you think you know, but you never do your research, then you have thought too much and outthought yourself from making that decision. You have already made the decision before you did your research. And don't never make a decision before you do your research, because you thought too much. Because your mind is already triggered for whatever it is that's about to happen. You already got a negative answer. You already got a negative vibe. You already have that negativity inside of your head to believe that whatever it is you're about to make a decision on, you're not going to be successful. You cannot do that. You have to go in and make decisions with open mindsets, and you can't overthink them. If you got an open mindset, you're never going to overthink no decision, because your mind is going to tell you, do your research, figure it out for yourself, see and visualize yourself being able to achieve whatever it is you're setting out to achieve, and then you will achieve it. But if you overthink the decision based on somebody else's opinion, and then you overthink the decision and make a decision based on having a closed mindset to the decision, then a lot of times that turns out not to be the best decision to make. So don't think too much, just make a decision based upon your open mindset, and And always, always analyze your decision. Always do your research and don't take no one else's opinion before you make a decision. Because like I said, you have already outthought the decision. You have already made the decision based upon someone else's opinion. So you have outthought yourself. Because number one, you made the decision before you thought about it. So therefore, you had thought too much about the decision before you made it, because you already came to an answer. Anytime you come to an answer on a decision before you make it, then you've already outthought it, because you thought about it and you've already used in visualization inside of your head to believe whatever task this is that you're trying to accomplish. By you having a closed mindset, you already believe that you cannot do it. Now, if you got an open mindset, then you have more belief that you can do it and you will do it. And you will not think too much before you make the decision. Because you have to realize when it comes to life, we have to be in the point and in a situation in life to where we set ourselves in a position to try to make the best decisions at all times. But a lot of times we allow other people to come in and make those decisions for us, and now we have thought too much, because of the simple fact we allowed them to tell us, our decision without us using our open mindset and doing our research and figuring it out for ourselves and seeing what's the benefits in us making this decision. We made it based off of someone else's opinion or someone else's belief, or the little bit that we thought we knew about whatever was going on. And now we made the decision before we even thought about it. So you thought too much because you talked yourself out of the decision. That's when you make a decision before you make the decision. So, and what I'm saying by that, if your answer in your mind when someone is trying to show you something, and your answer in your mind is as soon as they mention it and you tell them no, then you have made the decision and overthought yourself, because of the simple fact you already had the trigger, you already had the set in your mind that you was going to tell that person no before they even asked. As soon as you heard the first few little words come out, you knew that you was going to tell that person no. But not once, but that was because you went into it when you didn't have an open mindset. Your mindset was already closed. You had already told your mind that whatever this is that they're about to ask me for, or that they're about to ask me to do, I can't do it. You've already given up. And so that's when you think too much. Anytime you make a decision without researching things or checking things out, you think too much, and you already think you already make a decision before you do your research on something. But that's what I'm saying to you this morning. Don't do that. Always make decisions with open mindsets and not closed mindsets, and you will never ever think too much and think yourself out of a decision, and you will never make a decision based upon someone else's opinion of what someone else thinks about a particular situation or thing or whatever may be going down. But what you have to realize is that when it comes to decision making, we all have to make decisions. That's true. But here's the kicker. When it comes to decision making, we all have to be in a position to where we can make the best decisions at all times, because we want to make great decisions in our life, and we don't want to think too much and think ourselves out of great opportunities, and when we can do great things based upon someone else's opinion telling us that we can or can't not, or telling us that we won't be successful, or whatever the case may be. But what we have to realize as individuals, we have to learn how to open our mind like a parachute and make a decision based upon an open mindset and not a closed mindset. Because when you make a decision off of on a closed mindset, you have thought too much, because you have already you have already made the decision before you looked at whatever it is somebody's trying to show you, or you have already made the decision that you cannot do it before you even try it. And that's with a closed mindset, because you make the decision before you even. Good morning, Lisa. Thanks for stopping by. You make the decision before you even think about what's going on. You don't analyze the situation, and that's when you think too much. Anytime you make a decision before you even consider if you can do it or you cannot do it, you have thought too much, because you have taken yourself out of the decision making process before you even looked at whatever it was, or before you even said that you thought that you could do whatever it is you could accomplish. You talk yourself out of it by making the decision with a closed mindset. See, you cannot make decisions with a closed mindset, because when you make decisions with a closed mindset, you make that decision and you've already thought too much, because of the simple fact you have made a decision before you even thought you could. Say, for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. Say, for instance, you say you want to lose weight. Now, if you think in your mind and other people tell you that you cannot lose weight, then you cannot lose weight, because you have already made that decision based off of what you think in your mind and what other people think, that you cannot lose weight. So you have made a decision with a closed mindset, and you have thought too much to think yourself out of the decision, because you already had your answer before you even tried. You see what I'm getting at? So what I'm saying to you, don't have your answer before you even try to accomplish whatever you're trying to do in life. Don't have your answer before you even take a look at when somebody's trying to show you something. Make a decision with an open mindset. That way you can analyze and you can see it clear of whatever's going on in your life. If you want to make a decision to put together a schedule and a plan to lose weight, you got to have an open mindset in order to be able to do that, because you got to believe in yourself. If you go in with a negative mindset, you've already made the decision that you can't do it, and you've already outthought the decision, because you had an answer to the decision before you even, you had an answer to the decision before you even tried to do whatever you tried to accomplish, or before you even took a look at whatever it was that someone was trying to show you. So what I'm saying this morning, don't think too much and make a decision with a closed mindset. Because anytime you make a decision with a closed mindset, you have thought too much, because you already have the answer before you try, or you already have the answer before you take a look. So you don't want to do that. You want to be able to look at things with an open mindset, make decisions with an open mindset, and not closed mindset. Because a lot of times when you make a decision with a closed mindset, you may be making a decision based on what somebody else has told you, what you thought something was, and it could have been a game changer in your life, but you made that decision with a closed mindset because you already had your answer before you took a look. So that's what I'm saying to you this morning. Don't never make a decision with a closed mindset, because you have already outthought the decision. And that's what I mean by do not think too much when it comes to decision making or anything in life, whatever you're doing in life, because what we have to realize, everything that we do in life is either one of the two things. It's either a choice that we have to take, or it's either a decision that we have to make. Now, within those two things, we never want to think too much when we're dealing with either one of them. When we're chosen to do things, we don't want to think too much about it. Because the thing is, when you chose to make a choice to do something, you want to be able to just do it. And when you make a decision to do something, you want to be able to just do it. But we must all realize, this is what I'm saying to you in my morning live wake up motivation this morning, is that we must all realize that when we make a decision, make it with an open mindset. Don't never make a decision with a closed mindset, because when you make a decision with a closed mindset, you're not really analyzing the decision. You have outthought the decision. because you already had the answer before you even tried to do whatever it was you was trying to accomplish. Or you already had the answer before you even took a look at whatever it was someone was trying to show you. So that's what I'm saying to you. Do not think too much and outthink yourself from making a decision. Because when you do, it's a lot of great things that could have happened in your life, but you outthought the decision of making it, so you never did get an opportunity to even try to do something different or try to create change in your life. So that's, like I said, that's what I'm saying to you this morning. Don't make a decision based up on, what you think you know. Make a decision based upon what you know and do your research. So that way you can make the best decision possible when it comes to life. Because if you don't make the best decision possible that there is to make when it comes to life, then you're not going to be as successful as you want to be in life. Your success or failure is determined by the decisions that you make and the choices that you take. But if you take those choices with a closed mindset, if you make those decisions with a closed mindset, then you have thought too much, and you could be thinking yourself out of a great opportunity or a great way to get more physically fit by putting together your schedule and a plan to lose weight or whatever the case may be. But you outthought the decision because of the simple fact that you did not allow yourself enough time and opportunity and space to be able to make a decision like you wanted to, because you already had your answer before you made the decision. So I'm just saying to you this morning, all decisions that you make them with an open mindset. That's the whole point of this, what I'm saying. Do not think too much. Because if you make a decision with an open mindset, you're not going to think too much. You're going to think just enough to make the right decision to whatever it is you have to make a decision to. But when you make a decision with a closed mindset, you have already thought too much, because you've already thought yourself out of making that decision, because you had already had your answer before it even came to taking a look at whatever it was, or before it even came to you trying to put together that schedule and plan and do whatever you was trying to do in your life. So always make decisions with open mindsets. Never make a decision with a closed mindset, because you outthink the decision. And that's what I'm saying to you. And I just hope you understand where I'm coming from when I say do not think too much, because you outthink yourself from making decisions. Now, this morning, I got my new product. It's called Skin Tech, and a call to action. Like I said, click the link below at ZenseMakesSense.com and get your Skin Tech today. This Skin Tech right here, this is a 50 millimeter bottle. It will last you with regular use up until 1 month with regular use. And I also have a larger size bottle, which is a 150 millimeter bottle, and it will last you for 3 months with regular use. The 50 millimeter bottle is $25, and the 50 is $25, and the 150 millimeter bottle is $50. But this is a great product. If you have little children and they play out at the playground or whatever, all you got to do is put it on, and once you put it in and you rub it in, and it takes about 5 minutes for it to dry. But when that 5 minutes is up and it dries on your skin, you are protected for 4 hours from viruses, bacteria, harmful chemicals, all those things for 4 hours, even after hand wash. So like I say, this is a great product. I just put 4 hours of protection on my hands right now. Now I don't have to worry about it. When I go out and about today, I can touch doorknobs, I can touch door handles, I can do all those things and know that I'm protected for 4 hours, even after hand wash. So like I said, it's a great product. And you can get 50 millimeter bottle for $25 that lasts you up to 1 month with regular use. And you can get the 150 millimeter bottle for $50, and it lasts you up until 3 months with regular use. And it's, like I said, it's a great product. It has been selling off the shelf. And it makes your hands feel so soft, and your hands don't crack. You know, like how when you put on lotion and your hands crack, your hands are smooth throughout the day. Look at how smooth my hands look. See how smooth they look? Look at the back of them. I'm telling you, man, it's a great product. So if you're interested, click the link below at thismakesense.com and order your skin tech today. And if you're in the mood for making some extra money on top of what you're making right now, and you may want to create a stream of residual income, click the link below and let's chat about it, and leave me a message and say you want to chat with me about, you know, becoming an ambassador, and we'll get all that information over to you, and we'll sit down and chat with you, and you know, and get the information over to you, and we'll talk about it and see if it's a good fit for you. But like I said, ground level product, not sold in stores. You know, all I can say is get your skin tech today. If you want to protect yourself, your loved ones, and all those other people around you, especially the ones that have little kids. You got little kids, they play on the playground. Get your skin tech today. You know, you work in a restaurant, get your skin tech. Keep yourself protected from all those viruses, bacteria, and harmful chemicals. If you work in an industrial factory, get your skin tech today. Keep yourself protected. Medical field. You know, you touch a lot of stuff when you're doing surgery, all those different things. Get your skin tech today, you know, and protect yourself. Like I said, 4 hours even after hand wash, heavy protection. So, you know, get your skin tech today and protect your loved ones and yourself, and be able to go around and walk around knowing that you're protected for 4 hours. It forms an invisible glove over your hands, and you're protected for 4 hours, and you don't have to worry about, you know, whatever you touch. And then when you, like I say, you have kids, when your kids go to the playground, get your skin tech, you know, put a pump in your kids' hands, tell them to rub it in, and they can go play for 4 hours, and they ain't got to worry about whatever they touch. If they touch some dirt on the ground, or if they pick up a nasty piece of candy paper, whatever, they're protected for 4 hours. It's a great product, even after hand wash. I mean, it's not, and it's, you know, like I said, it's very affordable. But once again, thank each and every one of you all for stopping by my morning live wake up motivation. And I just want you to do me a favor, like, comment, and share on this video, because, you know, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. But once again, I just want to thank each and every one of you all for stopping by my morning live wake up motivation. And remember this, do not think too much. And when I say do not think too much, don't make a decision with a closed mindset. Because anytime you make a decision with a closed mindset, you have thought too much. Because you have already made the decision before you even looked at what you could do. You've already told yourself you cannot do it before you even tried. So don't do that. You know, always make decisions with open mindsets and never make a decision with a closed mindset. Because you, like I said, you talk yourself out of it. But I just want to say thank each and every one of you all for stopping by my morning wake up motivation this morning. And I pray and hope that that message that I just said inspires you to go out there now, in every decision that you make from this day forward. I challenge you to never make a decision with a closed mindset, and always make your decisions with an open mindset. And then you will see how things will change in your life and in your future when you adopt a different type of mindset than having a closed mindset when you make a decision, because you have thought too much when you make a decision with a closed mindset, because your answer is already there before you even allowed yourself to research or to believe that you could do what you could do. So once again, like I said, thank you for stopping by my morning live wake up motivation. And I just want to say thank you for stopping by. I appreciate all your likes, comments, and shares that you've done. So thank you very much. I appreciate you for your likes, comments, and shares. But do me a favor, like, comment, and share on this video as well, because I know that there's someone out there that needs to hear this. Don't think too much. So thank you. God bless you all, and have a blessed day. and goodbye.